Morning, and thank you for joining us for the BPM Change Management PRR Review Monthly Meeting. My name is Nicole Hines, representing ISO Customer Readiness, and I will be facilitating today's web conference. Today's call is being recorded. These recordings are for informational and convenience purposes only, and any related transcription should not be reprinted without the ISO's permission. As a reminder, these monthly calls are structured to stimulate an honest dialogue and engage in different perspectives. While we welcome comments and questions, please remember to keep comments professional and respectful. We will be taking questions throughout the call today. If you are dialed in by phone only and not on the WebEx, you can enter the question queue at any time by pressing #2 on your telephone keypad. If you are connected to audio through the WebEx platform, please use the raise hand feature located above the chat box in the lower right-hand side of your screen. Please introduce yourself before asking your questions, and if you need technical assistance during the call today, please send a chat message to the event producer. The purpose of today's meeting is to discuss the proposed revision requests that are in the initial or recommendation stage of the process. We have a total of 8 PRRs we will be discussing. 3 are in the initial stage, 4 are in the recommendation stage, and 1 has been withdrawn. We left it on the agenda just to let you know which one we have withdrawn. And all PRRs were submitted by the ISO. The purpose of the BPMs are to set forth business practices that implement the ISO tariff. Each year we conduct a yearly policy initiative roadmap to consider and rank these initiatives. Policy changes that are submitted through the PRR process will be referred to the roadmap process instead, and each subject area in a BPM is based on enabling language in the ISO tariff. The PRR process cannot be used to introduce changes that are not supported by existing tariff authority. The first BPM we'll be discussing today is market instruments, I will hand that over to Michael to discuss.
Good morning. It's Michael Martin with Market Operations. This is PRR 1574, and it discusses the addition of a new report on the CMRI system that displays advisory shutdown instructions. So this PRR is specific to the report, and that the report itself will show an advisory. It'll show if the shutdown is advisory or binding. The instruction cost and the time frame when it was received and other details. The detail of the advisory shutdown flag, I believe, is more of that is in a settlements PRR that I believe Massey will discuss later. So this period ended on June 13th. The comment time frame. I understand that we want to push this to an emergency status, although we submitted it I think on May 21st. We want to go live with this on June 17th, so we just are a little below the normal time frame. The stakeholders that are affected by this are requesting us to go a little faster. And this is just being discussed now. So any questions on this PRR, or should we also wait till Massey discusses it on the settlement side?
Hi, Michael. I think we could take any questions now or with settlements. So if anyone does have a specific question, feel free to raise your hand.
We have one raised hand. Caller, you're unmuted.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Dave Zverik with ACES. Can you reiterate the implementation date for this? You said June 17th, or did you mean July 17th?
I did mean July 17th. If I said June 17th, I apologize.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Does not seem like we have any other raised hands at this time.
Okay, so continuing on to market operations, BPM changes, PRR 15 76. This is actually a heads up that we withdrew this PRR. You might have seen it if you were watching closely. We put this out end of May. This is the addition of contingency-based, I should say based, flow gates to FRP. This is in real time. The current implementation is FRP is enabled on just base flow gates and no nomograms. This was the addition to put them on contingency-based ones. We ran into some potential performance issues, so we are withdrawing this and noting that even though it was active for June 4th to June 12th, and to make sure everything's straight, this was an emergency PRR. Bottom line, it has been withdrawn, and the change was only in effect for that short time period. Any questions on this PRR? Okay, PRR 1570, this is more details on the wheel through priority process as part of the TSMSP project. If you recall, we put out a detailed PRR a couple months ago on the monthly priority wheel through process. This PRR detailed more details on the process, including the daily increment process. So we didn't receive any comments on this, and the period ended on June 13th. At this point, we'll post the final decision.
There are currently no raised hands.
Okay, I think I have one more, and it's on the energy imbalance market, BPM, and it is PRR 1573, and it is clarifications to the CAISO AET. That's the Assistance Energy Transfer opt-in process. We implemented the AET system, I believe it was last summer, with our requirements for considerations to opt in. We have tweaked some of those formulas, including using some seasonal data, which we didn't use prior. So this update reflects those tweaks. So I called it clarifications to the formula. We did not receive any comments, and the same expiration period. And next up is to post the recommendation.
Thank you, Michael. Are there any questions on any of the PRRs discussed so far? As a reminder, please use the raise hand icon in WebEx or #2 if you are on telephone only.
There are no raised hands at this time.
All right, thank you. The next BPM we will be discussing today is metering, and I will hand that over to Priyanka.
Thank you, Nicole. PRR 1569 is submitted for the meter data submission requirement. This is to align with the existing requirement of the meter data submission only if the total expected energy is non-zero, and the recommendation period has expired on June 13th, 2024, and we have not received any comments, and the next step is to post the final decision.
Are there any questions on this PRR?
There are no raised hands at this time.
All right, thank you. The next BPM we will be discussing is the definitions and acronyms, and I will hand this over to Jacqueline to discuss.
Thank you, Nicole. This is PRR 1575, declassifying the acronyms and definitions BPM as an official BPM and transitioning to a supporting document. This is due to the fact that the definitions and acronyms BPM is a convenient copy of all definitions and acronyms from Appendix A in the CAISO tariff and throughout all of the other BPMs. Each time we post the acronyms or definitions and acronyms BPM for external stakeholder review and comment, is technically the second time it's occurring because everything has already been reviewed during the original PRR or during the initial CAISO tariff proposed filing. So we're hoping and opting to remove this duplicate step and therefore be able to still keep the definitions and acronyms posted and used as a resourceful document, but be able to update it more frequently and more so in real time. No initial comments were received, and the next step is to post for recommendation.
Thanks, Jacqueline. Are there any questions on this PRR?
There are no raised hands at this time.
All right, thank you. The final BPM we will be discussing today is settlements and billing, and I will hand this over to Massey.
Thank you, Nicole. Hello, everyone. My name is Massey Amadi. I'm settlement. I'll go over the settlement BPMs, and starting with PR 1571, we have the famous advisory shutdown flag. So this item was originally a non-project in our summer release, which then got moved into an independent release and became a full-on project. And we have started market simulation this week and next week for advisory shutdown flag. And the recommendation comment period has expired on June 13th. Next step is post-final decision. Any questions on this project, PR 1571?
No questions at this time.
Thank you. Next, please. Oh, yeah. PR 1572, update to charge code 4575. This is for a grid management charge, GMC. Charge to clarify business rule, charge code exclusion. This is a retroactive document change, so there's no configuration change, and it's just purely a documentation change with the effective date of January 1st, 2022. And the reason for this was to determine that charge code 8835 for resource adequacy, availability, incentive mechanism, neutrality, charge code 6479. Also, system energy should not be triggered for this GMC charge code 4575. The recommendation comment period has expired on June 13th. Next step is post-final decision. Any questions on PR 1572?
We have no raised hands at this time.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Massey. The next BPM meeting will be on July 23rd at 11 a.m. If you have any questions or concerns, any comments about any of the PRRs or the BPM process, please email us at bpm_cm@caiso.com. And that concludes our call for today.
Thank you, Nicole.
Right. Thank you for using Event Services. You may now disconnect.